Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of I Am Sat. My name is Maddie Quinney. I am the host of this podcast. And if you're here, welcome. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. And if you are unfamiliar with what this podcast is, what to expect from it, like all the good stuff, I do have a trailer episode that I recorded and published, so you can see yourself over there if you have any questions or concerns. Literally, I'm like, I hope this email finds you nicely. No, but like, yeah, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, go see that intro episode. It should answer your questions and should help you determine whether or not this is for you and whether or not you should stick around. I hope you do. And if not, it's okay. It's not meant to be. There's the door. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Love you. No, but really, whoever is here, thank you. Thank you for being here. This is the first episode, which is crazy. Yeah, so I do have some notes. I've been jotting down different thoughts and things that I want to talk about. You can expect this episode to be a bit chaotic. If you, again, listen to my trailer episode, you will know that there's really no structure here. I've been feeling this intense need to record recently, and so here I am. I'm recording. I'm ready. I'm here. I'm sat. What do they call that, by the way? Is that because, like, you know, when you're watching a movie and they say the title of the movie, there's a word for that. I'm going to look it up. Oh, that's kind of lame. It's just called a title drop. I thought that there was like some type of actual word for that, but nope. It's just a title drop. So yeah. By the way, also, if you're listening to this through audio only, slay, I do also have video, and it should be on YouTube by the time this is published. Hopefully, crossing my fingers. It's kind of fun. I have a little vintage, like 2001 Canon camcorder here. That's kind of the vibe I was going for. I didn't want anything crazy fancy. So it kind of worked out. Also, I'm like, girl, I am not spending that much money on a nice camera. Are you kidding me? Please. So, first order of business, I have to tell you the story. It's like kind of epic. And if I do say so myself, it feels inspired by the universe herself. So I think it was, when was it? I feel like it was around Halloween time. My God, I had ramen for lunch, like top ramen. And if there's anything you need to know about me, it's that I will eat that every day of my life, but not without acid reflux. And I swear to God, it gives me like the worst mucus. Like, girl, I gotta hawk up a fucking loogie right now. This is really bad timing. I note to self, in future recordings, I am not eating top ramen before I record. So you heard it here first, folks. Okay, so back to the story. I think it was around Halloween time. And Spencer is my partner, my life partner, my husband. We are married. We went out to a bar in Salt Lake City called Bodega. We went to go visit a friend who works there. Her name's Courtney. I love that bitch down. I love her down and dirty. No, just kidding. No, but really, I love her down. And she was working, so we went to go visit, and like a DJ that we know, they're actually called Flight Suit. They're fucking awesome, and they have the coolest setup, and they're always playing shows around Salt Lake Valley or in Ogden, so look them up on Instagram. They're really dope as fuck. Anyway, so we went to go see them play a DJ set at Bodega, and we got a drink, hung out, danced, whatever. On our way back to the car, there was a guy posted up on the corner of like State Street and Main Street or some shit. Or actually, I don't know the streets in Salt Lake. Shit. Don't quote me on that. But there was some guy just posted up saying poetry. Like I'm selling poetry. And so we were like, oh, what is this about? So he said, you can pay me anywhere between $1 and $25. And depending on how much you decide to pay will be the quality of the poem itself. And it'll determine, like some poems you can get a sticker, like whatever. So I said, girl, I'll pay you $10. Like, give me a poem. So he said, okay, go through this sticker book, choose a sticker, and kind of tell me like what vibe you want for the poem. And I said, okay. So I told him vibes are Edgar Allan Poe. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there is actually, you probably won't be able to see it at all on this godforsaken camcorder, but it's basically a picture. The sticker is a picture. It's like, I don't know. I'm like out here trying to say how tall it is, girl. I don't know, maybe like 3 inches tall. And it's of basically a Birdman. It's like really giving some Edgar Allan Poe shit. I saw it and I said, oh yeah, that is my vibe. We picked out a sheet of paper for it to go on, and he put it in the typewriter and started typing the poem. And it's dated, I actually have the date. It's the 25th of October, 2025. So that also feels like a good omen. 25. Yeah, I can fuck with that. So I'm going to read this poem to you. I'm just going to go from there and kind of tell you what it means to me and how I interpret it and just my thoughts around this whole experience. So without further ado, this is the poem. It is not the monsters on the outside that make the darkest stories. It is the way we torture ourselves, not the slice of the bladed pendulum, but the time spent in our own skull as it slowly lowers. The only house we ever really have is in our skulls, and they too can become haunted. If you want to like re-listen to that, also I'm like really bad at reading out loud. I was that kid in elementary school where like I was literally like reading. I would like, okay, when they would do like popcorn reading or like, you'd go down like the class and each person reads a paragraph. I was the bitch who was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would like count the paragraphs and be like, okay, this is my paragraph. And I'd read it over and over and over again to try to like recite it in my head so I don't fuck up. And like the whole time I have no idea what we're talking about. I don't know what's being read. I could not tell you. I'm just like so focused on not fucking up. So that was me. So I suck at reading things. So like if I ever do a submission thing, just be prepared for me to stutter and stumble. That's just the vibe around here. But anyway, so this poem, when I first read it, I was like, ooh, slay, that's kind of dark and crazy. But like, it's such a cool poem. And lately it resonates with me a lot. Like, okay, I'm going to read it again, actually. It is not the monsters on the outside that make the darkest stories. It is the ways we... Well, why do I say that? It is the ways... Why does that sound weird? Okay, whatever. I'm starting over. It is not the monsters on the outside that make the darkest stories. It is the ways we torture ourselves, not the slice of the bladed pendulum, but the time spent in our own skull as it slowly lowers. The only house we ever really have is in our own skulls, and they too can become haunted. I just really like that because if I'm being completely honest and vulnerable with you right now, the last week of my life has been mentally kind of like really taxing. Yeah. If there's one thing also you need to know about me is she's a mental health girl. And I don't mean just like a passion in mental health, because that too, I do have a degree in that. But like I'm riddled with mental health issues. She's crazy, you guys. She's crazy up here. And the last week of my life, I've been going through it. And also, I've been in therapy for like 6 years. I know, that's kind of crazy. Also, I hate saying that because I'm like, yeah, I've been in therapy for 6 years and I'm still crashing out. Like, does it ever end? If anyone's here, like, who's gone to therapy and made it out on the other side, like, let me know. Let a girl know. Because I'm like, does it ever end? I swear to God, like, every time, this all matters, okay? I have been around the block enough times in my therapy journey to know that there are different, like, healing cycles you go through. And there are different aspects of healing that you go through. And just because you complete one cycle doesn't mean that you're done and you're healed forever. You're complex. And if you grew up in a fucked up way or with a fucked up family, or if you have really dysfunctional attachment styles, there's gonna be a lot of healing cycles you need to go through in order to reach your potential, or like a version of yourself that you really want for yourself, or that you can see for yourself, but you can't yet attain that, right? And I've been going through a healing cycle recently, and it's felt like a big one. And one of these days I may or may not decide to, like, kind of go into that and what I've been doing in therapy, because what I've been doing has been really crazy. It's literally like, it feels like a psychedelic trip, kind of, almost. My therapy sessions do. They're crazy, but they're all just like meditative and meditations inside of my head and in my body. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but the whole point is I've been kind of going through a big healing cycle right now, and I've been kind of in the trenches. And so this poem, like, really speaks to me, because my skull, she's haunted. She's haunted. She's not just haunted, she's like demonic. So, and those are the true monsters. Those are the true monsters. It's true. I mean, I've always said this, but perception is reality. It's true. Whatever your perception is of the moment is your reality. However you perceive and interpret your environment and interactions, that is your reality. So if you interpret that someone's being cold to you, your reality is that they're cold to you and they don't like you. So that can be a really hard place to be. And for me, that's very true whenever I'm going through, especially when I'm going through like a mental health storm, I like to call it. Because storms always pass. Remember that. Everything ends. Storms always pass. But when I'm going through a storm of mental health issues, it really is like, I really got to remind myself of, like, perception is reality, and I can control my perception by taking a step back or not assuming the worst of people. You know, Maddie Murphy West on the Bad Broadcast, she said something super awesome and resonant. Is that a word? Resonant? Revenant? Just kidding. No, but she said something really that resonated with me on one of her episodes recently, how, like, when you decide to just assume the best of intentions for people, your brain will thank you every day for that. And it's hard. It's hard to assume the best of intentions, because especially when you've been fucked over in your life, and through people, family members, religion, corporate America, like, it's so easy to be so jaded and skeptical of everyone. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about the monsters, the true monsters, which live inside our brain. And so if it sets us free to just assume the best, then period. Another thing I heard recently, I've been watching The Real Housewives of New York City, and, like, from the very beginning, I can't remember which woman, I'm like really new into it, so I don't remember which one said this. I think it was Ramona. Is that her name? If you know, you know. She's the one who, like, literally crashed the fuck out by playing tennis. But she, like, in the first episode, but she said something that, like, actually did speak to me. I said, oh, okay, girl, I'll write that in my journal. But she was talking about how she was in a conversation with her husband, and her, like, 10-year-old daughter, she's trying to get her 10-year-old daughter into acting, and she may have to miss school. And the husband's like, I don't, like, that's a big problem for me, like, whatever. And the the Real Housewife was like, I think Ramona, is that her name? I should probably know. I should probably like look this up. I'm gonna like look this up really fast. Yep, it's Ramona. Thank God. That'll be easy to remember because Ramona and Beezus. Is that what okay, now I have to fact check that. I'm like, is that what it's called, or is that a fever dream? Ramona and Beezus, yes, with Selena Gomez. Okay, no, Beezus and Ramona. Wow, that's crazy. Beverly Clearly, that's a throwback. That actually is like scratching an itch in my brain that has not been scratched in a long time. That's crazy. Okay, anyway, Ramona. So her kid, she's trying to get her kid into acting, and the husband's like, no, this is a big problem with me if she's gonna have to miss school. And Ramona's like, well, it hasn't happened yet. Like, we don't know if that's gonna happen. And she was like, I've always said this, a problem's not a problem until it happens. And I'm like, slay. So her point is like, why worry about it until it happens? And I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, a problem is not a problem until it happens. And I feel like all anxiety is worrying about problems happening before they happen. And that's where the true suffering is, you guys, like worrying about problems before they actually happen. Like, why not just take a step back, live in the moment, and tackle the problems as they come, you know? It's so hard. It's way easier said than done, because I know for me, I am the type of person who like really fears living in regret. Like, I don't like the feeling of regret. Yeah, girl, we found her, the girl who doesn't like regret. No, but it's true. I fear the feeling of regret, and I fear grief, and I feel like with regret comes grief. And so I want to be well informed. I want to know what I'm getting myself into. I want to be well, educated and responsible when making decisions, because I don't want to just like make a decision and be very regretful and be like, girl, what was I thinking? But we also don't need to be riddling ourselves with compulsive anxiety and thoughts about what could happen wrong, because that's only preventing us from doing the damn thing. And, I've also been thinking about that a lot with the podcast itself. Well, I don't know about, it's just now hitting me that I should probably consider that with the podcast, because I'll be honest, like recently, so I think I recorded my trailer episode in the beginning of October or something like that. And since then, I've been feeling a lot of kind of like doubt and almost like imposter syndrome, where I'm like, okay, am I actually doing this? Like, am I cut out for this? Is this like really happening? And like, who do I think I am kind of vibe. And I've been very fearful that like, I'll get into this and then release like 4 episodes and then decide I don't want to do this. And I don't want to see that happen, right? Like, I really am fearful of seeing that happen, because I would like to commit to this. I struggle committing to things because, I get the hit of dopamine by having the idea, sharing the idea. And then after that, I leave the idea in the past and I move on to the next one. And my lack of commitment and resilience and motivation sometimes, like, I have the ambition, but I just like don't have the commitment to keep that ambition alive on certain projects. And I really don't want to see that happening, or I don't want to see that happen to this podcast. I really want to see this through and just really lean on this modality for expression and creativity. So, for lack of better words, is that even the phrase I should use? Anyway, long story short, I've been feeling like a lot of chaos in my brain and like anxiety and just, like exactly what I was talking about. I'm thinking about problems that haven't even happened yet. And like our good old friend Ramona says, a problem's not a problem until it happens. So why worry about it? So that's the message I have for you today. And I'm so grateful for this poem and for the opportunity to like come across this person in Salt Lake City who was doing the poems, I don't know. I just felt like it was meant to be because this poem really does like embody a lot of what I go through, and it embodies like the whole entire purpose of this podcast, which is to have it be a place for us to create, and for me to create, and for me to have a place to share anyone's creations or thoughts, feelings, expressions of any kind. And so, yeah, this is the whole point. Okay. That's the whole point, that this is the whole point. So yeah, cute little story. Anyway, that's that. I didn't really expect that to go as far as it did. But once I got yapping, I couldn't stop. Okay. So, also in other news, I'm just like looking at my notes. Okay. In other news, if you're watching, you'll see me sitting in this blue striped chair. I've got a plant to my right. I've got this little side table with my cute little lamp that I got at a thrift store in Tooele, Utah. That thrift store is stunning. It's literally called like the Tooele thrift store. If you ever have the chance on every third Saturday, in fact, I should be gatekeeping this, but whatever. Every third Saturday, and my good friend Rachel, she introduced it to me, so we gotta give credit where credit's due. Thank you, Rachel. She's like the raddest person. She thrifts like literally every single article of clothing that she has, whether it's on Depop or the thrift store. Like, she has such rad taste. Anyway, she just knows what the fuck is up. But Tooele Thrift, if you ever have the chance, every third Saturday, they do this thing where they give you bags and you can fill up whatever you want in this bag, and the bag is $10, period. So you can fill it to the very, very brim. It's $10. And so you can get so much shit there. It's crazy. And it's good shit. Like, the people in Tooele have no clue what they're missing out on, like, or what they're giving away. Like, truly, they have no clue. Sometimes I will find things and I'm like, girl, what? Like, this lamp, if you're watching, it's like a lime green glass, like, bubble lamp. I don't know how to describe it, but it has like almost kind of like a snowman, like one ball at the bottom, a smaller one in the middle, and the smaller one on top. It's with a chrome base. I love it. It's so cute. Got that shit for like $5 for real. So go there if you want. The whole point, oh my God, I am just like yapping away, going like on so many different tangents, but this is the point. This is the point, bitch. This is the fucking point. So if you can't keep up, it's fine. Yeah, so the whole point is I've got my podcast room up and running. This room has been kind of like a flex room in our house. It used to house my brother-in-law. He lived with us for some time. It used to be, actually, Spencer and I used to share an office in here. Like, we both work from home. Well, we did. We both worked from home for a period of time, and it was a shared office. Could you imagine it? I can't even believe we did that. Actually, we were like on calls, like work calls in the same room. And I'm like, that's crazy. We did that actually. So anyway, but now it is my podcast room. Has been for some time, especially with like my other podcast with my friend Krista. Explicitly said, it's been that, but like it's been just kind of like a piecemeal of a bunch of different furniture. Like it hasn't been intentional, but like one weekend on a Friday afternoon at work, I was like, bitch, I'm doing this. I'm doing the damn thing. We are getting this room ready. I just like cracked the fuck out and I came home. Oh my God. I came home early from work, I think, like 2 p.m. with what felt like hundreds of paint samples that I picked up from Home Depot on my way home. And I was like, okay, Spencer, I'm doing this weekend. And he was like, oh, Okay. So yeah, I painted all of the baseboards and like all the trim in here, like an off white. It's kind of like it's called journal white. Um, so yeah, painted that. There's like a jut out. You can't see it on the camcorder. I hope at some point I can get a good angle of like this room so you can see it, but there's like a jut out above me and I painted stripes on there. Like it's really cute. It's giving like mid-century modern French vibes and I'm obsessed. And then like me, sorry, I'm going off. I'm just excited, you guys. I'm excited about this room. And the whole point is, just follow your dreams. Follow your dreams because not that this is going anywhere, but like it just feels good to create something and it feels good to like bring to life a vision that you have in your mind. It feels so good and so rewarding. Like once I got everything set up after I was done painting and doing touch-ups and everything, I took a step back and I cried. I was like, oh my God, I did this. And to be honest, I did it almost all by myself. Because Spencer wanted to do other house projects and I didn't want to make it his problem either. I was like, okay, I impulsively decided I wanted to do this. Like, this does not need to be your weekend. Also, like, I mean that. So I did most of it by myself and I like found all of the pieces of furniture. Actually, every single thing in here I found myself and I like created by myself. And it feels really good, especially when I took a step back and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to create so much shit in this room. Like, that is so cool. I don't know. It just feels good. It feels good. And I don't know if any of you guys listening to this will resonate, but like I grew up in a household where like creativity wasn't really like, I don't know. Just what is creative? Who is she? I don't know. Like creativity, who? Like I don't know her. Have never known her. I just know how to survive and that's it. And like for the majority of my life, I never really pegged myself as like a creative person or like I never really felt like I've always felt like I had like fashion taste, but when it came to interior design or like even just anything artistic or musically involved, I did not feel like I had any talent with that. So it's all to say that creating this room, like, I don't know. And along the way, I was having many a crash out and like doubting myself. I was like, this looks like shit. Like this actually looks like ass. Like what was I thinking? But then like once it all came together, I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. And it made me cry because I was like, oh my gosh, go for your dreams, chase your dreams. Like everyone do what you want to do. Like throw caution to the wind, just like fucking go for it. So I'm excited for this room. Again, I really want to like, I don't know, have a better POV from the camera so you can see. But anyway, if any of you guys are watching, but it's just cute. I love it. And yeah, so there's that. I have this note, you guys. I started watching like the Twilight series while I was working one day because my job, I work for like residential semi-commercial home builder, and we've been hybrid work from home for, I mean, as long as I've been employed. And recently they said, nope, we're full-time back in office. And I said, okay, fuck you. So as a way of protesting, I've been watching the Twilight series at work while I work. And so I was watching New Moon, and you guys, I've always been Team Edward, and I've always like low-key been toxic too, but whatever. But like the scene in New Moon where like I guess the montage in New Moon where it's Bella and Jacob and they're working on the bike together and they're developing this relationship and building off of it, I guess. And for a quick moment, I was like, am I Team Jacob? Like with his long hair, I was like, okay, this is the first time in my life that might be Team Jacob, which is crazy, which is actually asinine. Like I never in a million years thought I'd ever hear myself say those words, but I actually had to like check myself. So I don't know what that says about me. Maybe I'm completing more therapy healing cycles than I think, because I mean, out of the two, Jacob is arguably way less toxic than Edward. I mean, that's a whole debate actually, because like later into the series, you know, we have a pedophilic situation on our hands when it comes to Jacob. So who knows? But as far as New Moon goes, I really actually think I might be Team Jacob. So anyway, not that that's necessarily like first episode content, but I just had to make my public announcement that I think I'm Team Jacob as far as New Moon goes. So, but that little girl inside of me, that sixth grader girl will always get it hard for Edward Cullen. Like, are you fucking serious? Yeah. To the day I fucking die and after, that will be happening. Okay, what else? Oh, I just wanted to okay, also, listen, I've been on this kick lately with, well, I don't know if it's necessarily a kick, but I've been caring a little bit more about the state of the world and what the fuck's going on in our country and just what's going on with corporate America and how it is literally woven into every fabric of everything. It's so dystopian and I hate it. It really trips me up sometimes. Actually, all the time. And so I've been trying to find ways to protest, even if it's a bit inconvenient for me. And one of those things is I canceled my Spotify subscription. And because they've been running literally, they've been running might as well say that. They've been running ICE recruitment ads and I'm just very not okay with that. Not about that at all. It's crazy. Also, if you look into that, I don't want to get into politics too much all the time, but if you look into that, it's actually so crazy the amount of money that they're paying people to join ICE and work for ICE. It's really disturbing. So I am trying to protest, and if my $10 a month will do anything, I can make that sacrifice. But let me tell you, it's actually quite a bit more of a sacrifice than I anticipated. I actually knew it was going to be a pretty big price to pay, but I didn't actually know until I was in it. It's hard. I love my music. I really do. I love my music. I drive a lot for work. I will listen to music at work. That's what helps me focus and get shit done. I love listening to music while I dissociate and fixate on cleaning my house. I'm listening to music always when I'm cooking dinner, when we're eating dinner, when we have people over. I'm always here for the vibe and to get present with music. And I was listening to so much Spotify. And now that I don't have it, I'm fuck. What do I do? And now I have to sit in silence with my own thoughts and I hate it. No, it's actually really nice. I wasn't planning on going down this rabbit hole, but while I'm at it, while I'm here, I'll go down. We will go down. Just kidding. If you know, you know. We will go down. Okay. No, but really okay. How do I even articulate this? Okay. I feel like we all know kind of the dichotomy between consuming and creating, right? If we're not consuming, hopefully we're creating. If we're not creating, we're consuming kind of vibe. There's that dichotomy of the two. There's a spectrum, right? And I feel like now that I've been off of Spotify and I'll be the whole point of actually this whole topic is to bring up radio, community radio, but I'll put a pin in that. Because I have been listening to community radio, but I also have been listening to silence and my own thoughts. And I'm realizing sitting in stillness and just existing in the present moment without any distraction, those are the moments where I feel so creative. And I'll have so many thoughts. And I'll think, I want to do this for the podcast. This would be a fun TikTok to make. Oh, ooh, I could crochet this because I've been trying to, that's a very loose word. This is a very loose statement. I've been trying to get into crocheting, which means I've made one thing and it was a 2-inch by 2-inch coaster. So what can it hold? Nothing. It can hold a pill bottle. Yeah, it's like the coaster for my Adderall. Like that is what it is. But anyway, I've been trying to get into crocheting, and I'll be in the car just alone with my own thoughts, no stimulation. And I'm like, oh, I would love to take up this crocheting project. Like I would love to make a beanie. Like I want a striped beanie. I have it in my head. I want to create it. So anyway, it's kind of nice. Try it sometime if you want, if that feels like a vibe to you. Because I feel like, again, if you're not creating, then you're consuming. And I think there's a time and place for all of it. But I think for me, I realized being off of Spotify just how much I was consuming and not creating. It's like, and it feels good to do both, but like it especially feels good to create. And that's kind of what I was that's kind of what I was trying to convey with like the whole podcast room of it all. Like it felt really good to take a step back and be like, I created this, I did this, and I feel proud of it. Like that is a really empowering, confidence building feeling. And I guess that's something also I've been realizing lately is like anytime I'm dealing with like low confidence, which has been a lot recently, I won't lie, which is interesting. Whatever. I won't go down that rabbit hole, but it is interesting. Because I really have been like the most confident I've ever been in my life. But then also like, I don't know, it's interesting. Like I was talking to one of my friends, Austin, actually, hopefully that's chill that I'm calling him out, but, he came over and we were crocheting together the said coaster. Honestly, full circle, everything comes back. I wasn't planning on talking about this, so slay. But he came over and we were crocheting and we started talking about just like personal growth and like, just the whole idea about that and our own journeys behind personal growth. And, we were talking about how when you complete like a personal growth cycle, it almost feels like you are on like a plane of, or like a wavelength of life, and you complete a few cycles of personal growth. You're still on that plane of life or that wavelength, but at some point you have to level up to the next plane, right? And you're constantly leveling up, but there are challenges between each plane of, like consciousness, I guess, and existence. And I've been feeling recently that I just jumped planes. And with that, I feel like the last plane I was on, I got to the top rung of the ladder and now I just jumped ladders and now I'm at the bottom rung of the next ladder. And so where I feel the most confident I've ever felt in my life, I also feel the most insecure I've ever felt in my life. And it's such a weird feeling. It's such a bizarre feeling. But something I've been thinking about is some of the quickest ways for me to like feel aligned with myself again and like confident in myself again is to create. Simply put, like whatever that means. This podcast is definitely a modality for me. I also love to journal. Journaling is like my true passion. I said that in my trailer and how I want them to be burned on, I don't know. But after thinking about that, I actually don't want them to be burned. I want to let Spencer read them, but I definitely warned him. So, you heard it here first. If you can consider this my will, my only action item in my will regarding my journals, because they're fucking vulnerable. Okay. That's like the one place I go to where I can just like be myself, and whatever expression I am, whatever version I am that day, I can just like throw it up on the paper and period, I'm done. So anyway, I guess that's just a food for thought. Like when you're feeling low confidence or just, not super confident in yourself, maybe like find a way to create something with that energy, like, because then it's like so lovely to be able to take something that feels ugly or feels intense or heavy and turn it into something beautiful. and something that you can be proud of. Like that is so confidence building. And I'm glad I'm saying that right now. It's like reminding myself of that. And I don't know, I resonate with that deeply and I need to hear that shit. Like I mentioned earlier, I've had a rough week mentally, and I guess that's kind of why I'm here, because I needed to create something. I needed to put my head first into something like this, so I can walk away and know that I did something with my energy and I created something. So whether or not I'm proud of this episode, the jury will be out on that, but at least I created it. There's something that I actually put on my vision board for this year, and I'm excited because also, get this, I want to do an episode. It'll probably be my second episode that I will release. This will be my first, but my second episode I release is going to be like an overview of my vision board that I created a year ago, and like a show and tell of the vision board that I'm creating for next year and what I want to see out of it. I want to do that because I've been doing that tradition for my own life, I don't know, for about like 3 or 4 years now, probably 3 years. And it's wild how everything I've put on my vision board comes to life, like and to fruition. It's like so crazy. So I'm going to do a whole episode on like manifestation, the science behind that, why science says that manifestation works. And I'm going to give you just kind of like a lowdown of that, and then like do a show and tell of my past vision, like my 2025 vision board, and a show and tell of my 2026 vision board. So I'm really excited about that. But the whole point, girl, she's ADHD. But that's why I'm fun, right? It's fun if I'm a little crazy, right? Okay. The whole point of that, I brought up the vision board and it like reminded me that I wanted to do that episode. But one of the things that I put on my vision board this year was showing up is a quote that says, showing up imperfectly is better than not showing up at all. And that's something that I really wanted to embrace, because I think often for me personally, I get in my head about like needing to have like all my boxes checked before I show up to an event, or like specifically with this podcast, actually, especially with this podcast, I've been waiting for like the right moment to record because I want it to be perfect. I want it to be easy to listen to. I want it to be, like I have so many ideas, especially because I listen to a lot of other podcasts. I notice how structured they are. Like Haley Rawl on Girls Camp, she is so concise and structured. I feel like she does really good research before her episodes. She has really good notes, and she has a really good way of like just effectively and concisely putting together her episodes. And I feel like I have been putting pressure on myself to show up perfectly in that sense, but that isn't me. And that just isn't me. And there's a time and place for that. And also there's a time and place for not that. Like I think about Gabby Windey, for instance. If any of you guys have listened to her podcast, Long-Winded, it is chaotic. And it's just like a manifesto of Gabby's thoughts. And there's a time and place for that. And what matters is that we show up authentically, not perfectly. And so this is me showing up authentically at this point in time. It's 2:23 p.m. on November 13th of 2025. This is the rawest version of me at the moment. So yeah, it's not perfect. It's not structured, but I'm here. And I guess it's a reminder for anyone listening, like you also don't have to be perfect. Like that's not what it's about. And I don't think people are looking for perfection. People look for authenticity. And at the end of the day, it's actually not about anyone else. It's only about you, and like you walking away from something and feeling like proud that you showed up authentically. Like it didn't have to be perfect, but it was true to yourself in that moment. And even if you like sometimes when you show up authentically, it can look a little bit ugly, and you can walk away and be like, and learn a thing or two, but like at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Like those lessons learned, like all of it, it's it's just life, baby. It's just life. God, I need to like hear this shit right now. It's like interesting saying this stuff and saying the stuff that you need to hear at this point in time. You know what I mean? It's really odd and bizarre. So, yeah, if it ever feels like I'm on like some fucking soapbox or some shit, just know that I'm trying to like talk myself off a ledge. So I'm not like, I don't think I know everything. In fact, I know I don't know everything. I'm just trying to talk myself off a fucking ledge. Okay. All right. Anyway, okay. This is so chaotic. I just like, these are all like my little thoughts that I've had. I guess in the spirit of things that I've been struggling with when it comes to this podcast, like obviously I just mentioned not like just feeling the pressure to be perfect on this thing and feel like in the perfect mood to record and feel super creative when I record. I don't need that, right? Like another thing I'm like working through is patience. I struggle with that, you guys. I really struggle with that. It's actually been very clear to me, especially in my like corporate life job, which is, it's so weird. Every time I talk about my corporate job, I'm like, I literally feel like I'm the Audi talking about my innie, like Severance vibes. It really feels that way. It's so weird. Anyway, she is hasty as fuck. Like, I just want to get that shit off my plate. I don't care if I do a good job. I just like want to get it off of my plate. And you know what? Never works, because if I think it's off my plate, guess what? I didn't do a good job, so I have to go back and redo it and fix it all up. So, yeah, I'm learning a lot about patience. And with this podcast, it's weird. I've been towing the line. I've been like, oh, I've been so patient. No, bitch. I've actually been afraid. So I've been taking my time starting this thing because I'm afraid that I'm just gonna stop doing it. Kind of like I was saying earlier, you know? But like, I don't have like the patience to just like, and the resilience to just keep going. You know, like I feel like I struggle a lot with feeling patient with myself, that like along this journey, I'm going to change too. I'm going to get better at this too. Like, you know, and that will foster resilience. I feel like I get really discouraged really fast if things like do not pan out immediately. And then I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. I didn't want to do it anyway. And I just like walk away. So that's something, I mean, that's kind of, I guess, maybe that's leading into next episode's content, but that's definitely something I want to take with me into 2026 is patience that builds resilience, because I really struggle with it. I really struggle with it. and learning something new too. Like I really struggle with that. Oh my God. Like again, full circle moment, you guys. I remember the one time at the beginning of this episode where I was talking about how I'm like really scared that I'm just going to or with new things that I want to learn, I will learn just enough to get like the dopamine hit, or like with new ideas, I'll talk about it just enough to get the dopamine hit of it, and then I like walk away, and that's good enough for me. Like I don't need to see it through. And I've always been that way. Like even with working out, it's like if I feel a little bit of a burn, I'm like, okay, there we go. And now I'm here. I worked out, I can go home now. And over the years, I've gotten a lot better at finding the value and the joy and the struggle and the burn, for lack of better words. And so I'm getting better at that. But like what really like sets me back from just embracing the struggle of learning something new, or not just learning something new, but like progressing at a task or a skill, is my lack of patience and resilience. I get so discouraged so fast, and I'm just like, okay, nope, like bye. So I am really bringing that with me into 2026. I'm going to try to practice patience that will form into resilience. And one of these days, you guys will hear about my infamous tarot reading of 2025. But my good old Jillian tarot reader, slay queen, like boss ass bitch, like she told me, she said, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And with the slow needs, like patience needs to follow. And so we're working on that. So anyway, I think that's kind of all I have to say for today. I have a lot of other thoughts. I mean, as of right now, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, that the season 3 is out, and I want to get in to that. Like I have, you guys, the way I have so many thoughts, and I'm only an episode and a half in, like I have so many thoughts about this, and I want to talk about it for hours. So I'm sure at some point I will talk about that. I also, like another note I had down here was oh my God, I just realized I never like wrapped up my thought about community radio. I'll keep it simple. Listen to it. 90.9 KRCL, and then I think it's 99.9 KUAA. Listen to them. They're amazing. Community radio is so important for connection and community, period. So listen to them. Anyway, another thought I wanted to bring up, and I will at some point, is I want to talk about the Frankenstein movie. That was, yeah, I'll put a pin in that. We'll talk about it later. It doesn't need to happen right now. We're already like an hour into this. So yeah, it's fine. But okay, upcoming episodes. So as I said, the next episode, I really want to do like a show and tell of my vision boards and kind of dive deep into the science of manifestation and maybe like share a few experiences about my own, my own experiences with manifestation and how my perception of it has evolved over the years. So yeah, I want to talk about that. But you guys, oh my God, you guys, I'm so excited for, one of my next few episodes. So I think I mentioned this in my trailer episode about like what to expect. I really want to like do deep dives of musicians or artists or whatever, like I want to do like a deep dive creative kind of like presentation, book report vibe, like video, I don't know, like type shit, with like musicians. And so I'm trying to get my friend Austin to join me on the podcast for a deep dive on Lady Gaga. And I think he's going to, which I hope to God he does, because you guys would love him. And also, like, he's also like one of the biggest Lady Gaga fans I know. Oh my God, it will be epic, and I'm so excited for it. So there's like some really fun stuff coming down the line. So if you are interested in any of those topics, like, yay, like, great, you have something to look forward to. If you're not, no worries. It's like fine. It's like literally fine if you hate me. No, but like really fun stuff to come down the line. I'm really excited. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for listening to me today. I really needed this, like, bad. Honestly, I really needed this. So, if you didn't, then yeah, like I said earlier, it's not about you. It's about me. It's always about me because I'm a Leo bitch. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for listening, and I am excited to sit with you next week. Okay, bye.